I'm a physical therapist. I'm also a strength coach, yogi, and endurance athlete. If any of those things feel like familiar, join me, 30 minutes of class. Weights are optional always, but suggested if you have them at home. 30 minutes, we're gonna go through a little bit of standing yoga warm-up. I'm gonna walk you through this. I'm a PT first, so I'm always being mindful of injuries. Listen to your body. That's the main thing. Listen to your body, modify as needed. This class is advanced core work on the mat. I will show you options, so just listen to your body, that's it. Follow my cues. I try to give a lot of cues here. And again, we're just gonna go through a little bit of a standing yoga warm-up and then take it down onto the mat for some core strength mobility. That's it, 30 minutes, let's start now. Come to the back of your mat, reach up to the sky, get some length. Again, we're going for strength, mobility, a little bit of ab definition maybe, a little bit of suppleness in our spine, a little bit of support for our body with core stability, all the things. Reach, get some length in your spine. Just starting off with a nice, easy yoga warm-up, nothing crazy. No complicated yoga here, just a stretch. Exhale, forward fold, bring the arms all the way down, hang out here. Knees are nice and soft. Give your back a little stretch here, just a little bit of love. Just letting things warm up before we get into our sequence. Every class, if you join me, I have 3 moves, advanced, I do show options, we circuit through them, and then we finish with some stretching, and that is it. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back, straighten out the knees. This is your hip hinge. For those of you who do deadlifts, hinging at the hips. Right, we're gonna get into some squats later. Hold it here, stretch, hammies. Feel that stretch, brace with my abs. Hold one more breath. Bring your hands down, step back into plank. Planks, great way to sneak in some upper body work for our core. I always love my little added planks. Pushing away from the mat, engage the shoulders, one breath. Tuck the chin in. Exhale, knees down, slowly lower chaturanga. Uncurl the toes. Set yourself up for a little bit of spine extension, baby cobra. Your back needs extension. We're always flexed over things all day. Extend. Give it a little bit of extension here. Pull the shoulder blades down your back. Exhale back down. Uncurl your toes. Push yourself back. Downward facing dog. Pedal the feet. Give your ankles and calf a nice little stretch here. One of my favorite ways to warm up before running, a little bit of down dog. Get those calves and ankles moving, right? Pedal the feet, drive the hips up high to the sky. We're gonna go through that whole sequence 2 more times, just like that, easy peasy. Walk your hands back to your feet, rolling up 1 vertebrae at a time. Articulate through the spine, move through that whole spine. Again, supple joints. We want movement. Inhale, reach, lengthen. Exhale, forward fold, breathe it out. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back, speeding it up a little bit. Hold it here, brace with the abs, hip hinge. Hands come down, plank, strong shoulders, engaged core, tucking that chin in. Push away, 1 breath. Exhale, either knees down or all the way down. Challenge yourself, right? Uncurl the toes, push yourself up into cobra or up dog if you want to come all the way up. This should always feel good on the lower back. Again, a little bit of bracing with your abs to help stabilize that lower back. Also, think about pulling the shoulder blades down. Engage those lats. That's going to help you stabilize that lower back. Hold it here, 1 breath. Gentle, be nice to your body. Exhale back down. Push yourself back, downward facing dog. We've got 1 more round, then we're moving on. We do have squats, aka chair pose. We have our hinge, which is our deadlift, and we have our squat, which is our chair pose. Walk your hands back to your feet. Rolling up 1 vertebrae at a time, head coming up last. Inhale, last time through. Hopefully you're feeling warmed up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Flat back here. Hands come down, plank. Again, chair pose is next. If you have weights, you can turn that into a squat. Up to you. Hold here, 1 breath. Exhale, lower. Control, control, control. Up dog or cobra. Stretch, extension, extension of the spine. Open the chest. Exhale back down. Push yourself back, downward facing dog. Let those heels drop. If you are like me or any of my clients, you have probably got some tight calves. So I like downward dog for that reason, right? It's a nice active pose using the shoulders, the arms, but you're really getting into that nice stretch, that whole posterior chain, and some nice calf flexibility. Last breath here, guys. So if you have your weights, we are doing chair pose optional. I will show you options. If you don't have weights, walk your hands back to your feet. Chair pose, I'm gonna set this up like a back squat. Again, same thing, we just call it different things depending on where we are. So if you've got weights, you've got options. If you got one, I like that goblet squat style here, close to my chest. Weights are always here, not here, right? Keeping that back nice and supported. Feet are hip width apart or wider. Your stance depends on your body and your flexibility or mobility. So again, I'm gonna root from the ground up, starting pulling the arches up, whether I'm doing weighted or I'm just gonna do my chair pose, and then I'm gonna sink back into my heels. So I'm engaging that foot. That's gonna help me turn on those glutes. Weights can be here or at your sides. This is still a back squat. Sinking back, toes are planted. Now, if I don't have weights, I'm just gonna turn this into chair pose, a little dynamic chair pose. So you decide. I want you to think about that, all these points of contact. So when we sit back into our squat, whether you're doing this with the arms, right? Or you've got your weights. Starting from the ground up, I wanna have my big toe, my pinky toe, my heel planted, right? So it's a back weighted squat, sitting back, but I still need to keep that engagement with my entire foot. Now, other cues I'm thinking about, bracing from here, protecting my spine. Doesn't mean I'm sucking in, it doesn't mean I'm holding my breath, but a little bit of tension. And then I like to think about this flat back position, right? Meaning it's actually more of a neutral spine, but most people understand that idea of being flat back, right? Gives them a little bit better idea in their head versus being here, really arched, right? So a little bit of engagement here. Help keep that back nice and flat, neutral, whatever you want to call it. And then again, if I've got my weights, I'm just doing squats. Eyes are looking forward, chest is open. I'm not slouched. Again, when we have weights, people tend to fall into this, right? So you really need to engage lats. That's your back. Sinking as low as you can go comfortably. Again, let's just go through these. This is just our warm up, right? If you've got weights, always nice. Optional for my class, always suggested. I love adding weights to your core work. You will get amplified core strength. And again, if you're an athlete, we can't just be doing crunches all the time, right? Got to change it up a little bit. Last few here, just using this as our warm up, getting those hips. Your squats can also be your warm up, right? Doesn't always need to just be stretching. 2 more here. Sink into those hips. Get that booty going. 1 more time. Beautiful, done. That's it. We're done with that. Keep the weights. We may add them in for the core strength portion. That is up to you. Let's finish with a little bit of our cat-cow. One of my faves. I probably do cat-cow almost every class. Why? Because it feels great, right? Sometimes you don't need a reason other than it just really feels good on your body, right? But there's some nice movement happening in the entire spine when we go through this full cat-cow. So I want you to really explore that and use your breath. That's gonna help you also get that rib cage moving. A lot of people are really stuck in that mid part of their back. That's your thoracic spine. It's my PT nerdy talk right now. So your rib cage attaches to that thoracic spine. So move it. Get all of the stuff moving. Inhale. Feel the rib cage. Exhale. Breathe it out. Move through this fully. So when we're doing mobility work, we really want to get what we're targeting. So this is some spine mobility. Get that whole spine. If you notice any parts that are not moving, now is your chance. Breathe, get into them, articulate, mobilize those segments. That's that spine mobility, right? We want strength, but we also need the mobility. That's a healthy body. Let's do a few more here, and then I'm gonna take us through the meat of the workout is our core strength. Don't you worry, it's not easy. It's coming up next. We've got obliques, we've got planks. I will show you options. We have some lower abdominal work. That's the 3 moves for today. All right, so coming onto your back first, let's get into it. We got a lot to cover. 3 moves, 3 rounds. That's how these classes go. If you follow me, that's how they go. You don't need a lot of work to get efficient core strength. So we're gonna start on our back. I'm gonna give you two options. If you cannot do these ankle grabs, it doesn't feel great on your neck, this is our first move here, side to side, targeting obliques. If you don't love these for your head, you can also have your hands here. You can also just do some bicycles, right? Obliques. So whichever one you're doing, I love these ankle grabs because starting now with our first set, they hurt. Instant activation, right? I like these better than the standing side bends that people love to do with weights because those tend to stress out the lower back for a lot of my patients, even my athletes. I like these. There's no stress on the back and you are hitting obliques. You cannot mess this one up. That's also why I like it. I love exercises where I can give it to almost anybody and I know even if they don't understand it, they're still gonna do it right. They're still gonna target the right muscle, right? And the other exercises are a little bit more complicated. Sometimes people are kind of compensating. They're like, oh, I only feel that my lower back hurts, whatever. This one, you're feeling it. So let's get into these ankle grabs. Again, bicycle crunches would be your option B. I do have a plank as our second move. I will show you some options. You can also take a break because it's a minute. Hold. Forearm plank, that is next. Last, we've got some lower abdominal work, a little challenging, right? We're gonna flutter the legs. You're gonna decide how low you wanna go. Hard move, definitely finishing with the hard one. So let's keep this first set going, finishing up this first round. Last few here, tucking that chin in, stabilize the neck. 4 more, 3, 2, 1, flip it over, forearm plank. I want this to be your RKC style plank. If you've done kettlebell training, you understand what that means. RKC, I'm gonna have a slight curve in my back. I'm not flat. I'm intentionally here, driving more activation into my abs. I want those elbows driving down to your toes. I want you to activate when you're in that forearm plank. Fingers spread wide, grip, pull. That's gonna kick in your abs a hell of a lot more than other planks, I guarantee you. 30 seconds of that, and then 30 seconds of a little bit of hips dip for oblique engagement. So let's start that off in 3, 2, get yourself set up, fingers are wide, 30 seconds, and go. You're gonna notice when I'm here, I'm slightly curved in my back. My tailbone is slightly tucked under. That is intentional. This should give you much more of that activation in those abs in the front. That's why we're doing this. So let's hold this for another 10 seconds. And then if you want to bring your feet closer together for the little hip dips, you can. So all you're doing for this last 30, or rest, if you need to break, that's totally fine, is drop the hips side to side, right? Again, advanced. These are not easy. So you have options. If you need to take a break, you need to modify whatever, totally up to you. So 30 seconds of these dips, and we're gonna be back on our back for that last advanced lower abdominal work. So a little bit of everything here, right? For our core series today. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, flip it over. Lower abdominals, you must stabilize your lower back. That's why when people do this, they're like, Dara, my back hurts. You're not doing it right. So I wanna give you some cues. I give my patients, I give my athletes. I want you to really bring that rib cage down on the exhale. Keep this pressed down. Your lower back, there should be no space here. So when my legs lower, I need to really elevate my head, press the rib cage down, and make sure that my lower back is staying connected. Otherwise, you are putting a lot of stress on your lower back. That is not the goal of this exercise. Now, I'm gonna give you a couple of reminders. If you have a bigger leg, stronger leg, heavier leg, this is way harder. I have a tiny little leg, so this is easier for me, right? So it's not that you're weak or whatever. So you have to remember some of these things too, right? Sometimes pull-ups are easier because people are just smaller, not necessarily stronger. So I need you to really focus on how low can you go for your body, right? Maybe this is your finishing point. Maybe you're just going to here, because when you get past it, you start to feel, oh, my back's lifting up. And what happens is you lift the back, you lose that connection in the front, and then you're putting a lot of stress on the lower back. And that is not the point of these exercises. So I see people do these all the time in the gym, and they look like this. I'm like, dude, that's wrong. And you're probably gonna need to see me in physical therapy, so sorry. So anyways, and that's one of those key cues. I really like to remind people that if you lift the head up, that's gonna put you into that crunch position. Again, keep going with these, you're going at your own pace. That head elevated, it's not cheating, it's really just helping you to stabilize. So if you need to be here, or maybe not go as low, you do that, right? We're trying to find whatever's gonna put us in the best position, do this safely, but correctly, right? If I'm losing the center here, this is about stability. We're trying to get stronger. We're also trying to get a more stable and supported spine, right? Not irritate it and bother it. So these are challenging, right? Obviously. Let's do a few more, and then we're gonna come back into that first move. Let's do 2 more just like this. 3 rounds, 3 moves, then we stretch, we're done. Last one here. Breathing as well, right? Feet down, ankle grabs. On the exhale, lift, chin is tucked in, I'm reaching. Round 2. Being able to have that core engagement, that core strength, while you actually breathe, that's the other part of it, right? We're doing this for a lot of us. We want to be faster in our sports. We want to be more efficient with our lifting, whatever. You do have to breathe too, right? So that is a challenge. Can we brace? Can we keep some tension here? And then underneath that, can we breathe, right? It takes work. So focusing on all these little things, the devil is in the details, right? That's why I give so many cues, because this is your opportunity to lock things in, to get your brain to understand that connection so that you then can amplify that and put that into your squats, your running, your biking, whatever. Do the work here, right? This is where we think about all those little things, those little details of movement. Last few here, obliques. Again, what am I working on? Obliques. Planks is next. In 4, in 3, in 2, and 1. Flip it over. I love that move. It just burns. Like I always know I'm doing it right? You can always feel it. All right, setting ourselves up in 5, 4, 3, 2, plank it out. Hold the plank, engage, brace. 30 seconds. Tuck the chin. Tuck the tailbone. Pull those elbows down to your toes. And then again, we'll do those hip dips to finish off our planks or take a break. You always have that option. Whatever your body's feeling. In 3, 2, 1, dip the hips. Ever so slightly, a little bit of just dropping the hips side to side. Not a big movement here, right? Just like that first move, not a lot's happening. We're just getting this ever so slight, side to side, ever so slight, right? Almost done. We've got that lower abdominal next, and then we've got 1 more round, and then we're basically done. In 3, 2, 1, and done. Come onto your back. Lower abdominals, again, go as low as you feel comfortable while keeping that stability. Pressing that lower back down. You decide how low you're going to go. Arms can be your sides, arms can be behind your head, whatever feels right to you. Lower. You take it at your own pace, right? If you want to go faster, if you want to go not as low, whatever. Maintain that stability here, right? This is your center. This is that core stability. Work on strength, but also that stability as well. And you can do whatever you want with the legs. I just like to do these little flutter kicks. You could always do a little bit of scissors. If you want to change it up a little bit, get your brain to focus on something else. That's always a good thing, right? Especially if you're starting to feel fatigued. Maybe change the feet. Maybe change the speed. I know I'm feeling it. Let's do a few more here. Let's do 4 more. And 3 more. And 2 more. And 1 more. And rest. Whew. Last round. Would you look at that? Brace, lock it in. Here, connect, reach, Last round, we're speeding through this. We're almost done. We just got to stretch, and that's it. That's it for today. All my classes, you can also check out my core workouts. I have a different playlist, just kind of these core short workouts, just like this part here, right? So if you just want the core, you can also just do that. If you don't need the stretching, whatever. Almost everybody could benefit from a little bit of mobility work, right? A little bit of stretching, never a bad thing. Breathe. Last round, you guys. Make it count. These should be feeling burn. That burn, right? A good burn right here. Side to side, tuck the chin in. Hands can go here or bicycle, whatever. We're almost done. Finish strong. Breathe. 4, 3, 2, 1. Relax. Whew. Those ones just catch up to you. Those ones, I always feel. Last time planks. Make them good. Engage. Step it up. Really lock it in. Last 30 seconds starting now. Again, I want to feel that tension. So I'm really focused on really driving the elbows down to my toes. Creating that kind of like fiery feel, right? You really get those abs kicking in. That's the goal here. 10 seconds. We've got those hip dips, and we're done with planks for today. In 3, 2, 1, drop the hips, side to side, finishing strong. Keep those fingers spread wide. Don't sink into the shoulders. Tuck the chin in. All sorts of things to think about. I'm just trying to distract you. Almost done here. I swear. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Last exercise, last set. Lower abdominals, lower lift. You decide. Perfect form. Complete perfect form. Start perfect form. That is always the goal, right? We don't lose the form as we get tired. You might need to modify the move a little bit. That's okay. But let's finish on a high note, finishing with nice solid form, connected, intentional. What are we working on? Where are we working? How can we keep this locked in? Right? Paying attention to where we need to be. Kicking the legs. Maybe you change. Maybe you flutter. Maybe you do a little bit of these, a little scissor with the legs. Maybe you don't flutter. Maybe you change it. Maybe you go lower. Maybe you don't go as low this round. Whatever. Your class. Just maintain that form. Maintaining. Almost done. Keep it going. Strong and connected. Let's do 4 more. Whichever version you want to do. Back up. 3 more. These ones are hard. I told you. 2 more. Brace with your abs. Rib cage is down. 1 more. Beautiful. Flip it over. Let's squeeze in a little bit of lower back. We are almost done with class. Let's get the little bit of Superman, Superwoman's in real quick. Just to get a little bit of that engagement, opposite arm and leg reach, hold for 2, and then lower. Just a little bit of activation. Again, this is not about strengthening the lower back. I kind of hate when people say that. It's more about activation, a little bit of engagement, waking up the whole backside of the body. Again, we're flexed, hunched over things all freaking day. So wake up that whole backside of your body. Get your posture right. Engage everything. Pull yourself back up. Use all those muscles that are getting stretched out by sitting, hunching, biking, computering, driving, leaning over. Wake them up just a little bit with this. Just a little bit of a lift and relax. That's all we're doing. I like to think about length. So I'm not really just arching my back. I'm lifting and then I'm lengthening, reaching. I'm not compressing my lower back. I'm really thinking about getting longer, not just higher. Last few here, just mellow. And then we're going to be on our back. We're going to stretch, and that's it for today. Last one. Beautiful. Come over onto your back. If you like child's pose, you want to take a child's pose, that's also a great way to stretch. We're going to be here on our back. Hug those knees into your chest. Give those knees a nice squeeze. Massage that lower back. Rock the knees side to side. Give it a nice little stretch. Again, I'm going to guide you through some of these stretches. Whatever feels good to you. If you want to modify, you want to add in your own, that is totally okay. Right? Listen to your body. Extend that left leg long. Hug that knee into your chest. Give it a good squeeze. Roll the ankles and the toes around. Articulate those feet. Get those joints healthy, happy, moving. Move them around. Roll the ankles all the way around, little circles. And then I want you to hug that knee into your chest. Give it a good squeeze. I want you to grab behind that thigh. I want you to actively stretch that hamstring. Ooh, I feel that. Actively. It's also a nice little sciatic nerve stretch. We've got a little bit of sciatic tension. Flex, point. Flex, stretching that hamstring, point. Flex, get that moving. We want length. Supple joints, healthy tissue. These things need to move, guys. Lengthen and shorten. Last one here. And then bring that knee across your body. Reach across. Find that angle that just feels good. Feels nice to you, like a good glute stretch, maybe here. If you're rolling more off the mat, getting into that lower back, if that feels good, go for it. Again, this is just going to depend on your body and where you need to feel it. Open that arm out at an angle. Should feel like a nice stretch. Right? Again, the more you rotate, the more you're going to get into that lower back. So you kind of have to figure out what feels right for you. Head goes wherever it feels comfortable. I'm breathing. I'm slowing down the breath. I'm really letting my nervous system relax with that slower breath. And that's going to help you stretch. It's going to help you kind of get into that a little bit deeper. Take one more breath here. Come back to center, figure four, stretch. Can be here. You can reach through for thread the needle. Maybe roll the shoulders. Release any tension. Last few breaths here. Now we're just going to hit the other side, and that's it for today. And then when you're ready, unwrap that right leg, shake it out. Hug that left knee in. Roll the ankles one more time. Good hip stretch here. Grab behind the thigh, active hamstring. Everyone's got a tighter side, right? That is normal. You're normal. Nobody's perfect. Nobody's perfectly symmetrical. We are humans. So I've got a tighter side, you've got a tighter side. So lean into that. When you feel that, hip or back or hamstring or whatever, stretch it more, right? We're focusing on getting relative symmetry. Just because for a lot of us, for athletes, we do a lot of repetitive sports like running, biking, whatever. We need relative symmetry. So this is your chance to work on that, right? We're not trying to be perfect. We're just working on some of those subtle asymmetries, just adding a little bit more symmetry, right? That's always my goal, not perfection, just focusing on where you need to work on your body. We're all different. Last one here. Bring that knee across your body, almost done. Opening out the arm, giving yourself a nice stretch. Again, rib cage, right? Attaching to that mid-back. That's where people are super tight. Let it expand, let it move, breathe. Use the breath. Exhale it out. Sink even deeper into that stretch. Right, this is your opportunity. Really relax that nervous system and get deeper into that stretch. One more breath here. We've got our figure four pose, and then we're almost done. Just got one more move, and that's it. Come back to center, figure four, finishing up class. Make sure to subscribe to the channel to get notifications of live class. They are every week. You can check out some replays for some other core ideas. Hope you got something good out of class. Roll the shoulders, release tension. Shake the head side to side, release any tension. Let it go. Let it just shake it off. Just shake it off. Enjoy this stretch. One of my favorites. Everyone loves this stretch, right? Last breath here. We're gonna finish in seated, and that's it for today. Unwrap that left foot, windshield wiper the knees, nice and mellow. Roll yourself onto your side, coming up into seated however you want. I'm gonna sit cross-legged. You don't have to. Just sit up nice and tall for me, just like we started off class with. Let's re-engage and get that tall posture, taking you through the rest of the day so we're not here. Sit up nice and tall. Inhale, reach to the sky, lengthen. Exhale it out one more time, and then that is it for today. Thank you guys so much for coming. Inhale, reach tall, spine, lengthen, engage, crown of the head to the ceiling. Exhale it out, that is it. Thank you guys so much. I hope you got something good out of class. Join me next time. I'm grateful for you guys. See you guys next time.